everyone, and welcome back to another, hopefully for everyone, exciting David Hittle real estate show. I try to make them as exciting as possible. I know sometimes real estate's not always that exciting, but I try to make it as exciting as I possibly can for you. And I thank you for watching today. If you like anything that has to do with real estate, if you want to stay up to date on real estate news, market updates, anything like that, please hit that subscribe button down there in the lower right hand corner of your screen. It will take you to the subscription page. You can subscribe. That way you know when I'm about to be doing a show, when I'm about to do a show that may be not a live, but maybe a pre-record, or any other sort of news that I happen to think is important. You will be notified of it, and I appreciate all of the subscribers and all of our live viewers. So today we are going to talk about 3 ways that you will win. You'll win. You'll feel like a winner when you buy a home this year. But we can't just talk about the 3 ways that you'll win when you buy a home this year, because that would be a very short episode. It'd be a very short show. So we're going to fill your head with even more knowledge before we get to that. What I love about real estate, what I love about being a realtor for United Real Estate Louisville, is that I can provide so much information. I can educate the public about what I know, what I'm hearing, the things that are going on around me, the things that are going on in your backyard before you even know they're happening in your backyard. That's what makes it so much fun. So, the first thing that we're going to discuss today, before we get to why it will be a huge win for you if you buy a home this year, is mortgage interest rates. Now, mortgage interest rates, they're a big deal. Your mortgage interest rate will determine how much interest you pay on your mortgage over the lifetime of your loan, whether that's a 5-year, a 15-year, or a 30-year mortgage. Your interest rates will determine your interest payments. And just a few quarter points can sway thousands and thousands of dollars. So what are the experts predicting about the mortgage interest rates this year in 2021? This week, the mortgage interest rates hit 2.81%, which is up from last week's 2.73. So the lowest that we've had ever in the history of recording was 2.65. That was the very first week of January. And we went up to 2.73 last week, and we now climbed to 2.81 this week. Freddie Mac, who is in charge of keeping track of the average mortgage interest rate, released their quarterly forecast, and they said the average 30-year mortgage hit a record low over a dozen times in 2020. And the low interest rate environment is projected to continue this year. So Freddie Mac is predicting that the low interest rate environment will continue this year. They expect, quoting here again, we expect interest rates to average below 3% throughout the end of 2021. While this will be a modest rise from 2020 averages, the recent vote by the Federal Reserve to keep interest rates anchored near zero should keep rates low. And that is the big concern, because if interest rates go up, home buyer buying power decreases. So right now, because of the lack of inventory, the high demand of home buyers, and the interest rates, home values are going up. Here in the Louisville area, year over year, home values increased 9% over last year. So ending 2020 and ending 2019, in Louisville, our home values averaged an increase of 9%. So with that 9%, it has to be made up somewhere. Someone, a home buyer, is going to pay that added 9%. The only way that they have been able to withstand the higher home values is because interest rates have come down, bringing their payment down. However, we're actually looking fairly good with interest rates. In 2016, the average interest rate was about 3.5%. By 2017, it had increased to 3.9, so almost 4%. By 2018, it had almost hit 5%. It's a high number. By 2019, it had started to fall down to about 3.7 on average. 2021 was taking its tumble from 3.7 all the way down to 2.8. And now here in 2021, we're riding this 2.8 to 3% range, and they are predicting as we go into 2022 that we're going to start to see that interest rate increase slightly. Doesn't mean it will go all the way, but it will increase slightly. But what does this mean to you, the home buyer? Because that's who we're talking about and who we're talking to today. Low mortgage rates are creating an outstanding opportunity for current home buyers to get more for their money while staying within their budget. As the economy gets stronger and we recover from the challenges of 2020, it's natural for rates to potentially rise in response to a healthier economy. Mark Fleming, the chief economist at First American, puts it this way, quote, "Rising interest rates reduce home buying power and affordability." What I just said. But are often a sign of a strong economy which increases home buyer demand. By any historic standard, today's mortgage rates remain historically low and will continue to boost house buying power and keep purchase demand robust. Simple as that. So they are predicting that as the economy improves, interest rates may rise. However, they're predicting that while these rates are low, home buying affordability and home buying purchase power are still great. They're still doing great stuff because of the lower interest rates. So the bottom line, if you are ready to buy a home, it may be wise to make your move before mortgage rates begin to rise. That is what we're afraid of in the real estate market, in the realtor world. We are afraid of rising interest rates while we have low inventory. We have low inventory because home sellers are not putting their homes on the market in the expediency to meet demand. So, while demand is high and supply is low, home prices will continue to increase. We need interest rates to stay low so that the home buyer, so that you can afford the home of your dreams, the home you are looking for that fits your needs for today. That's important because there are many, many reasons why owning a home is so important. Not only is owning a home part of the American dream, which it is, but owning a home has major impacts on your life. So another article we're going to talk about today is 3 ways home equity can have a major impact on your life. But what is home equity? Home equity, homeowner equity, is the difference between the current market value of your home and the amount you owe on your mortgage. The difference. So whatever that difference is your home equity. The chunk in the middle is your home equity. You can tap into that home equity either through the selling of your home or through a refinance that draws out some of your equity. According to CoreLogic, which is a very reputable company, they indicated that equity increased for the average homeowner by $17,000 in the last year alone. ATTOM Data Solutions did a U.S. home equity report, and they revealed that 30.2% of the 59 million mortgaged homes in the United States have at least 50% equity. And that doesn't even include the 38% of homes that are owned free and clear, meaning they don't have a mortgage at all. What they receive after they sell their home is 100% profit. But how can home equity help a household? Home equity, having equity in your home can dramatically impact your life. That's what they say. Equity is like a savings account that you can tap into when you need cash. Like any other savings, you should be sensible in how you use it. Absolutely. Here are 3 good reasons to consider using your equity. So here are 3 reasons why you would think about tapping into that home equity. 1, you're experiencing financial hardship, maybe a job loss, maybe a lot of medical expenses. Equity gives you options during difficult financial times. With equity, you could refinance your house to get cash, which may ease the burden. It also puts you in a better position to talk to the bank about restructuring your home loan until you can get back on your feet. Today, there are 2.7 million Americans who are currently in a forbearance program because of the pandemic. 90% of those in the program have at least 10% equity. That puts them in a better position to get a loan modification instead of facing foreclosure, because many banks will see the equity as a form of collateral in a new deal. So if you're in that position, even if you can't get the loan modification, the equity can allow you the option to sell your house and walk away with your equity instead of losing your home and your investment in it. So you think about it that way. Say you have to sell your home. You've been paying on it, been making payments, you have a little equity. When you sell the home, you're not just starting at zero. You actually have some equity that you can take with you to your new purchase or for rent or whatever you happen to need that purchase, that profit for. Whether you're having to sell it because of financial trouble or just because you want the equity out or you want to do something different. Number 2 reason, you need money to start a new business. Think about that one. We've all heard the stories about how many great American companies started in the founder's garage. We're talking about great American companies like Disney, Hewlett-Packard. I'm actually on an HP laptop, imagine. Apple, Yankee Candle. All those companies started in someone's garage. What we might not realize, however, is the garage, along with the rest of the home, is supplied the startup money for many of these companies in the form of a refinance. So the founders of those companies refinance their home in order to start their businesses. So if you are passionate about an idea you have for a new product or service, the equity in your home may enable you to make that dream a reality. Good reason to have some equity. Number 3, you want to invest in a loved one's future. That's perfectly okay as well. It's been a long-standing tradition in this country for many households to help pay college expenses for their children. Some have tapped into equity in their homes to do that. George Raditu, senior economist for Realtor.com, notes that 52% of Americans who bought their first home in 2020 said they got help with their down payment from friends or family. The number one lender, their parents. So it's safe to assume a percentage of that down payment money likely came from a home equity. So the reason you want to own a home, especially this year with rates being so low, and for any year for that matter, is because owning a home is a kind of forced savings. Let me put it to you this way. When you rent an apartment from a landlord, you write that check and you hand it over to the landlord. They take that money out of your account and it's gone forever. You will never see that rent money back, period. What you get is a roof over your head. That's it. When you pay rent, the money is gone. But when you pay a mortgage, when you pay your mortgage, a part of that payment does go towards taxes. It does go towards insurance. It does go towards interest. But a portion of that money, a portion of that payment that you made also goes towards the principal, which is your home's purchase price. And as you pay down that principal, as you pay it down and it gets smaller and smaller, your home value, if it's going up like it has been for the past 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years now, your equity is going up. The value of your home goes up. The amount of money you owe on it goes down. That chunk in the middle is your forced savings. It is your piggy bank. It is your nest egg. It is your nest with golden eggs. Because not only do you write that check and you give it to the mortgage company, you give it to the bank, the money does come out of your account, but it goes into an investment. It goes into your home. And it pays down a little bit of your home, little by little, till eventually you're either mortgage free, which means you now have 100% profit whenever you sell your home, or down to a reasonable amount where you could say, maybe it's time to buy a new home. And then you sell your home, draw out that equity that you had put in, and you go and you buy a new home. It's the American dream. Everyone should have the opportunity to strive for it, including millennials. Millennials. Now, they say that they are between 25 and 40. I don't consider myself a millennial, but if that's what they want to consider me, whatever. So in today's housing market, all eyes are on millennials. Not only millennials, not only are millennials the largest generation, they are also currently between 25 and 40 years old. These are often considered prime home buying years when many people begin to form their own households and invest in real estate. If you are like many millennials who are spending much more time at home these days, you may have a growing need for more space or upgraded features, making moving more desirable than ever for the millennials. For those millennials who already own a home, there's a great opportunity to move up in 2021. Danielle Hale, the chief economist at Realtor.com, explains that older millennials, those would be the ones closer to 40, will be trade-up buyers, with many having owned their first homes long enough to see substantial equity gains. It's more profit. Even if you bought a home sometime in the last few years, you may have more equity than you realize. And that's a big factor to consider when you're thinking about moving. According to the Home Owner Equity Insights Report, we talked about that before from CoreLogic, in the third quarter of 2020, the average homeowner gained approximately $17,000 in equity during the past year. This marks the largest average equity gain since the first quarter of 2014. That was 7 years ago. Whew. Growing equity can be the driver you are looking for to fund your next move, especially if what you need in a home is changing right now. Your dream home is what your needs are today, a home that fits your needs today. As equity builds over time, it can be put towards the down payment on your next home. In addition to equity gains, today's housing market affordability is powered by record low mortgage rates. So moving at a time when you can get more for your money may be more realistic than you think. So the bottom line here is if you are a millennial thinking about moving this year, you are not alone, and you should connect with me so that I can shed light on what equity you have in your home. I do that through a home valuation. I call it your intelligence report. You don't want to sell a home without that intelligence report. Trust me on that. So, thinking of buying a new home, this year should be your year. I hope that it is your year to buy a home. 3 ways you will win when you buy a home this year. This is the moment you have all been waiting for. This is the moment that I reveal the 3 ways you will win when you buy a home this year. This is going to be good. 1, buying a home is a great investment. We've been talking about this forever now. Buying a home is a great investment. Several recent reports indicate that real estate is still a good investment, topping gold, stocks, bonds, savings. Why? Real estate helps you build that equity. Forced savings that grows your net worth. And again, that equity report, once again, $17,000 on average, the highest average gain we've seen since 2014. Number 2, mortgage interest rates are low. They hit 2.81% this week. 2.81 this week. They have fallen since November of 2018 when they hit 4.94%. Wow. Freddie Mac expects rates to remain low, leveling out to an average of 2.9% in 2021. You want to buy a home when your interest rates are low. You want to buy a home when your interest rates are low. Just trust me on that. Investing in your future pays off. There are some renters who haven't purchased a home yet because they are uncomfortable taking on the obligation of a mortgage. Many renters don't realize is the financial power of equity. You have zero equity if you are renting a home right now. If you are renting an apartment right now, you have no interest in that property at all. As a homeowner, your monthly mortgage payment becomes a form of forced savings you can reinvest later in life as you see fit. Not only that, but your rent is likely to be increasing every year. Your mortgage payment stays static. It stays the same for the most part. You can use it for a variety of ways. This is equity, like to fund a loved one's education, move up to a bigger house, or start your own business. As a renter, you're actually growing your landlord's equity instead of your own. You grow their equity, not yours. If you're ready to put your monthly payments to work for you and take the steps towards those dreams and goals, purchasing a home may be the way to go, especially as rental prices continue to rise. It was amazing to me this year when I first started making my payments towards my mortgage this year. My mortgage payment actually went down. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. I'm still paying the same amount that I was last year and the year before and the year before. But the fact that my mortgage payment actually came down is way different than you will ever see in rent. When was the last time, if you are a renter right now, when was the last time you saw your rent go down instead of up? It's probably been a very long time. Bottom line here is buying a home sooner rather than later could lead to substantial savings and long-term financial growth. And I would be happy to connect with you to determine if home ownership is the right choice for you this year. I'm certain it probably is, but every person's situation is different. You won't receive pressure from me. I will lay it out there for you and connect you to the people who will tell you what your payments will be and what you can afford buying a home. It is the American dream. Home ownership is part of the American dream. Don't wait for what you think will be a better time. Like I said, this year, mortgage interest rates hit an all-time low. That is great news for you and can be great news for your family, great news for your future. All you have to do is make the right connections, get a hold of the right people, and we can make it happen. I thank everyone for watching the show today. Next week's show will be pre-recorded. I have an appointment at our scheduled meeting time. So next week's show will be pre-recorded. It will be just as important, so don't miss it. And I will see you in March. Will be the next live show. As always, I thank every single one of you for the honor of speaking with you every Sunday. I am David Hittle with United Real Estate Louisville. If you have any questions, you need any advice, just give me a holler, give me a call, send me an email. All my contact information is in the description of the video. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again live in March. Have a great one.